So where do you feel, what do you feel, what does Jamelia feel now in her current way of being is a healthy relationship?
I think a healthy relationship is one in which you can show up as your true self. As you know, I can be as weird as I am. I can tell you what I'm into. I can tell you the things that I enjoy. You know, things like, okay, here's one thing. This is gonna sound like a minor, but like I love playing computer games. I'm a 43-year old woman. I should not be sat down playing computer games, but I love them. Like love them. For my whole marriage, I never played computer games. I never got to play them because I was trying to not be weird, not be. And now it's kind of like, you know what? I'd love someone who plays computer so I can sit down next to them and have my console. Like I want to be able to be my whole self. And I don't even think as a child I ever showed up as my whole self. I think
Mm,
the only space in which I am 100% myself is around my children. My children are, over the last few years, I've discovered that, all this love that you're searching for, you've got it. So stop looking like you've got it. Like, I'm not out here looking for a man. I know I did Celebs Go Dating, but like that was just for fun. Um, I'm not. I'm not out here looking for anyone to complete me. There's no missing piece of the puzzle. I am complete. I am whole. I am happy. And, so any like relationship that now comes into my life, it's because I want it. And it's, I'm not here saying like I don't want a relationship because it really would be nice. I love like dating. I love all that side of things. I love it. But at the same time, I just like, but you're gonna get me. So you're either gonna think I'm a weirdo and you're gonna be like, yeah, nah, she's a bit mad, or you're gonna love it. it's one or the other.
so what would
But
what
yeah.
would the what would the man have to have?
So now I think I want something that I've always wanted. I want to feel secure. I want to feel safe. I want to feel looked after, protected. I want to feel important. And honestly, I think what I want a giver. I want I feel like I should find another person who gives in the way that I give in a relationship. You know, I I also want someone who, is very self-aware, self-confident. Um, I kind of want someone who's done the work. And when I say done the work, I also want someone who's successful in their own right as well. Like, have you got something great going on? I don't I don't want to help anyone. I don't want to mother anyone. And I know that sounds so bad, but I've I've done that and I don't want to do it again. I've never,
You're tired.
I, I'm tired.
No,
I'm
facts.
ti-
You're tired.
I am, and I feel like I deserve me from someone else. Like I cannot explain to you how much I give, and I love to give as well. So if I link up with someone who loves to give as well, then we'll be happy, right? Like I
Mm.
just I also want someone honest. Don't pretend to be something you're not. I feel like my ex was pretending for 5 years straight. Like if you would just, because I'm so understanding. Like just tell me what it is, tell me what you're going through or whatever, and I'll get it. I understand. Like I've had so many different types um of experiences. I've experienced so many different things in my life that I can't help but be empathetic to someone else. And, also, honesty includes, I don't think I'm ready for this type of relationship, or I don't think I'm ready for a relationship with you. I don't think I enjoy being in a relationship with you. Like, might sound like a horrible thing to say, but I promise you it will save a lot of heartache. I think I think for me, one of the reasons why I never live with any regrets about these significant relationships that I've had is just that I got my daughters out of it. And honestly, my daughters, listen, they are like, they're my sunshine. Like they are everything to me. And without them, I wouldn't be here. I can say that. 100% with 100% confidence. Everything that I am is because I have them in my life. And I feel so blessed every single day. Every single thing that I get to do, like the life that I'm living right now. I recently moved to Dubai, um, and we're just living life. We're living life in a way that is just like, why didn't I do this earlier? And I know why, because I needed to have my daughters with me. I needed to have these four girls with me. But boy, it's just like
Let's touch on that.
it's
Let's touch
yeah.
on how do you how do you approach teaching your daughters about healthy relationships?
I lead by example. That's the only thing. And I also, I'm not teaching them about healthy relationships, but I'm teaching them about healthy people. Because
Mm,
one of the things that I feel is really probably of the most importance is that I look after myself, I nurture myself, I love myself, and they see how that allows me to show up better in other people's lives. I don't have this huge circle of friends or family. I don't have like loads of significant relationships. I don't. But any relationship that I'm in, I've chosen it for myself. I dedicate and commit time and energy and effort to it, but not before I've done that for myself. And as a former people pleaser, it was very difficult to do initially, but then getting to see the benefits and the fruit of that dedication and commitment to myself and seeing how it allows me to show up like I am amazing right now. And I mean, like, even as a person, like I'm excited for the next man that gets to date me. I'm excited for the next person that gets to be friends with me. Like, I and it might
I
sound
love that.
arrogant and narcissistic, but I promise you it's because I'm just like I feel like I need to say it because I know that there's a woman out there, there's a man out there that needs to hear it too, that needs to hear,
Mm,
like, yo, it's not selfish to look after yourself. It's not selfish to choose yourself. When my ex left, like I spent 2 straight years just devastated and living in, the most masculine I possibly could be living in. And when I say that, I mean like I was doing everything by myself reluctantly. I didn't want to be a single parent. I didn't want to do this by myself. And now my whole mindset has changed. I get to do this by myself. I get to have my children to myself. I get to be their
that's
biggest
big.
influence.
Mm,
Like I get to wake up every single morning with my children. I get to, talk to my children. I get to know them. I get to feed them. I get to know them. Like, I am so lucky that I get to keep this to myself. As I said in before previously, I was like, the baby father assistant. Now it's just like, nah, like you do your job if you want to do your job. And I think with my last ex, it's kind of like I've left you to do what you want to do, and you're showing your children, because it's not about me. It's never about me.
yeah,
You're showing your children what it is you want to do, and what that is nothing. You want to be a waste man, and I hate that term, but that's the only way I can describe it. This man, again, like when I tell you, like, there was no what's the word? Like, there was no, like, there was no foreshadowing. There was no, like, I had no idea that he would turn
there
into
was no
this man.
warning. There was no
No
warning. No,
warning whatsoever. There's like,
because that's what people will say.
of
There be
course,
maybe
that is my
women or
choice.
men listening and being like, you surely you would have seen something, and it's like,
Of course, and it's a no. It's a no. I'm just like, I am still as shocked as I was on the day that this man has turned out to be this man. But right now, the life that I live, I'm glad. I'm actually glad. Like, and again, the reason why I choose to tell the story and choose to share my testimony is just not because there were times where I was like, how am I going to do this? How, like, I
mm,
can't, I'm going to die. Like, I literally, there were moments where my life was at risk because of whether it's, the pregnancy, like the stress related to the pregnancy was, I spent so much time in hospital. And also as well, he didn't just leave. He basically tortured me and my children to the point where it was kind of like, yeah, you've got to go. It had to be my decision. So even in the midst of that, it was like, yeah, but he's the little one's dad, and then it was just like, what, actually no, that's not happening. So you come correct or you don't come at all. And he chose not to come at all. And so what I had to do with that was then build from there. My So she was 4 at the time, she's 6 now, nearly 7. And like the the pain that I saw my little girl in for well over a year straight, every single day, to see my little girl in pain, and also my older ones, was devastating. And I'd say having the baby is what brought sunshine back into our lives. Like
Yeah.
my youngest daughter being born is what kind of, it was like a real new beginning. It was like, okay, we start from here. This is where we start from, you know. And it was, she has been the most beautiful blessing to our lives. Even so, my 4-year-old, who was completely devastated day in day out, missing her dad, now had a little sister, and that's where her focus has remained since then. And I'm not saying that, she, I'm sure she must miss him, but she doesn't mention him. She doesn't, you know she, I don't know. It's, I am really sad for her, because there is an element where it's like, I wish I could have provided that. I wish that we could co-parent in a healthy way. I wish that we could co-parent.
Hmm.
I,
It takes
I'd
two.
love to. Yeah, but I can't. I can't. I can't make you co-parent. I'm an excellent co-parent. Like, because for me, I can focus on the child, and understand that whatever we want to do moving forward is around the child. It's got nothing to do with what you did to me, or anything like that. I'm
But
not the type of person that.
being
Mm,
able to separate that is powerful in itself, because a lot of co-parents struggle because there's resentment, right?
mm-hmm.
You done this to me
I
in a
think,
relationship, and
yeah,
therefore, and
yeah.
that just spirals and spirals and
Um,
spirals.
my
How are you
my
able to separate that?
my thing is always, yeah, 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 you did this, but, and that's why we're not together. Moving on. Like, you still got this human walking around, and and this child will benefit. And okay, let me say this, because I'm going to say this child will benefit from having both of us, but not necessarily. Oh, sorry, my camera's falling.
It's cool.
Sorry. And now I've changed it again. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's hope it stays. um, there's this notion that a child will benefit from having two parents, and I would like to kind of contest that and say a child benefits from having two parents who are willing to work together, who are on the same page, two parents who have a shared goal, not just two parents, not just a mom and a dad. There's plenty of mom and dads in the home that mash up their children, but there's also plenty of, parents who the way that they work together is horrific. Like, as I said, I was in a relationship where I was getting battered every single day, and I ended up co-parenting with that man in the most magnificent way. We had a great time co-parenting. I enjoyed it. Um, and because we were child centered. It's not about us. I don't, okay, you used to bat me. You don't anymore, you know. And I've just never, I think, again, I think I'm hyper realistic in that sense where, sometimes relationships don't last forever, but my children will be here forever. And I really want to send out whole children out into this world. I want them to be, as complete as I can possibly manage. And, yeah, so
It's
even the
beautiful.
idea of not being able to co-parent, that was like devastating to me, because I was just like, raw, like, we're not even going to do that. Like,
Mm.
wow, okay. Like, I think
You're
so.
always focused on the child. You're always
It's
focused. Everything you said is like, this is a woman, regardless of what's going on in her life or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
she's child focused.
100%, 100%. Because I, I think the main theme of my motherhood journey is I don't want to mash up my kids. I don't want them to,
Mm.
but one of the things I've discovered over the last couple of years is that you don't have to. I can just be in my motherhood bag. Like I can do that because that's something I do well. It's something I love. And so I'm not trying to be a father. I'm not trying to fill the void of a father. I'm just trying to be as a mother and be, fill the mother space as much as I can because you just,
How does that
I'm
how does that
sorry.
look now? Like, no, because I was speaking to Kane Brown yesterday,
Yeah.
and he's just turned 50. He's just
Yeah.
turned 50 and he's got a
Uh-huh.
7-year-old.
Okay.
And I think he had his first child when he was like 22.
Okay.
And I said, you kind of came towards the end of parenting but decided to go again. How
Yeah, that's me
different
as
is it
well.
this time around? Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
how different. And he said having a child in this stage of his life has been such a blessing,
honestly.
because he's a different person. So my
Hmm.
question to you is, how different has it been having a child later in life compared to in your 20s?
So I had my last daughter when I was 41, I think. 41. Yeah, 41, yeah. So I had my last daughter when I was 41 and my first daughter when I was 20. So I I have been so many different people in that time. And my but my the daughter that I had at 41, the birth was traumatic, the pregnancy was awful, it was traumatic. I was traumatized throughout the pregnancy, by my ex. And so coming into it feels like a new season. And for me, I don't know, there's something about keep bringing life onto the planet that's just so empowering. And I was just like, you know what, I'm not failing this one, I'm not failing any of them. And so I'd say the first year of my daughter's life was about survival. It was about, you know making sure, just show up, just get up, just do what you need to do, doing the bare minimum as well, bare minimum, basics. I'm Jamaican. There were some days that, my child probably didn't have a wash. It's so embarrassing to say out loud, but there were some days, not many Jamaicans, don't come for me,
You're
but
being
like
real. You're being
there
real. It's fine.
there were some days that it was like, you know what, I ain't got it in me today. But like I felt like I crawled out of that space, that place. And like I'm so proud of myself. Like I'm so proud that I was able to survive that. And now I just feel like a G. I feel like, not only was I, old, I'm like, I was able to survive. And not only that, now I'm in a space where I'm thriving. It's not just even about surviving. I'm doing things like today I was going and getting my pedicure and my this and my that. And I was just like, raw, like, and I'm walking out into the sun. And then I came home, I bought my children for a swim and we went swimming. And then, and it's just like, I feel very confident. I feel like there are so many wrong turns that you take as a younger parent. And by the way, the experience of new parenthood is no different no matter how many children you have, because each child is different, each experience is different. And no matter how old you are, you're not automatically better because you're older. You're just older. And
Mm.
your back's probably hurting a little bit more. But like the 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 lack of knowledge and the lack of self-confidence, it rears its head no matter what stage of the journey you are. But there are mistakes. So I'd say the biggest mistake I made was holding the hand of the father of my older two children, holding holding his hand and helping him be a good dad. Like that was a
Mm.
big mistake. I'm not doing that this time around. If you want to be a good dad, you will be a good dad. And And if you don't, it's got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with me. I just want to do my job well. And I think I am unapologetic in choosing myself. I'm confident as a mother. I've got 23 years in the game, and I feel like I've been a phenomenal mother. And, of all the things that I've done, my biggest portion of my confidence lies in my motherhood. I feel like I've done bits. I feel really proud of myself. And I know we're not supposed to speak about ourselves like this, like we're not supposed, but listen,
Nah,
we
nah, nah,
should.
nah. Say it with chest. Say it with chest. Like
Say
this is
it
a
with-
story.